here. J.R. Shepherd dives down to the inside, trying to see if he's able to get a little bit of that tack that Brandon Proudfoot has been getting up at the front of the field. 10 laps to go here at Port Royal.
Yeah, definitely not making a huge ground here on Brian. Brian's able to maintain that gap.
It's Justin Morton back into second with J.R. Shepherd somehow taking over the lead. I have no idea.
These guys, you see Scott kind of using up all that momentum. Got to enter the corner wide. I expected him to kind of cut back low. See lap car down on the inside. George overshoots the corner. Scott puts that car just where he needs to on the middle. It's going to be a drag race through the kick. Thomas George gets loose. Scott Eckridge has the opportunity to come home with a win right now. Side-by-side drag race.
Oh, wow.
Scott Eckridge, 5/1000ths of a second.
Streaming cyberspace into your place. Sponsored by Gargamel's Kitchen. From Five Flags Speedway, it's the Virtual Grip Network's final round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Series, Season 21. This breaking news just came over the VGN Newswire. The sun rose this morning. In other non-related news, but equally as surprising, going into the final round, J.R. Shepherd has clinched his 16th Late Model Series championship. Yes, you heard me correctly. I said 16 as in Sweet 16. In the 21 editions of the Late Model Series, other than Shepherd, only Chris Hensley, Philip Temples, Kenny Kibbe, and Donnie Moore have worn the crown. Moore, the only driver to do it more than once with titles in seasons 3 and 6. In today's nomenclature, dynasty is a word used much too carelessly. But with a championship in 14 out of the last 15 seasons, including a stretch of 11 in a row, broken up only by Kibbe 3 seasons ago, a Shepherd dynasty might be an understatement. So with the season title no longer in doubt and Shepherd taking the night off, for drivers here tonight, it's a chance to build momentum. The rule package has changed for next season, with the focus moving away from qualifying, returning to race results, an area where others have matched Shepherd, and indeed Justin Morton has limited schedule, has even bested Shepherd. What old-timers will prove they still have it, what newcomers will prove they just found it. Pull the lever on the lazy boy, because the answers are about to stream your way in the form of some simulated short track action. Hello and welcome from Pensacola on this Saturday night, March 18th, 2023. John Hine, along with yours truly, Bill Soups, on high up in the broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View. We play Ryan Seneca, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. The 11th and final main event of the season mirrors the previous 10. 100 laps preceded by a 4-lap qualifying session that inverts the top 10 and awards those, well, at this late stage, mostly meaningless bonus points. John, if the drivers want to build momentum for next season, so does VGN, as we hope to end this campaign with an entertaining show. Does Five Flags help or hurt our chances?
Well, I think it helps, and it's only because this is my favorite track to run on, so on the asphalt side of things. So, this track, you're going to be able to see that outside work a little bit on restarts and starts. It'll be there for a short period, but it'll be enough to make things interesting, that's for sure. And, we still have a pretty big unknown here with this car. I know these guys have gotten more and more laps, a little more familiarity with it, but race conditions are always a little different. Last week we talked to a lot of guys and their tires were hanging by a thread, so we'll see what happens with that as we roll through this.
A learning process indeed, and in fact some of the results tonight will carry over into next season. As we talked about the rule package changing, they're going to invert the top 15 for the opening round of next season. We'll talk more about that as the race goes on. The sun rising and a Shepherd championship and Gargamel's Kitchen. Those are 3 things you can count on. Yes, our sponsor, Gargamel's Kitchen, is a high-quality food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street or call Gargamel's Kitchen at 720-707-6178. Now let's take a quick look at the points. There were no debuts at South Boston, so the total number of drivers to have raced at least once this season maxes out at a healthy 33. Our top 4 drivers all hold station, with J.R. Shepard taking the night off. His points will lock in at 471, well out of reach of Michael Goodman, who is also locked in at second. Now, ask Lowell Jewell at the beginning of the season if he'd be happy finishing the season in third place. I think the boss man would have said yes. Matthew Thunhorse could be the fly in the Jewell podium soup. Last season in the super late models, Donnie Moore and Ribeye Joe Snyder were very close in the points. To quote Herman and the Hermits, second, first, same as the first. Matt Hoos swaps positions with Joe Segala. Now, with his wife Brandy cheering him on, Jeffrey Harden could only manage an 18th at Sobo to reward her support. Jeff's taken Brandy to a concert tonight. He's not going to be there, which should allow Kurt Smith to vulture Harden's position in the points. Ah, the things we do for love. There are 6 wins just off page 1. Justin Morton has 4 of them. Kenny Kibbe with 2. You can see the rest as we go all the way down to 20th. Then let's flip the page one more time, and we're going to talk. No, we don't have to. Yes, we do. 23rd. There he is, highlighted in blue. We're talking about Todd Liston. He is our spotlighted Soup of the Day over-under driver. All right, John, here we go. You got last round, so we've got 4 wins so far. Let's see if we can go out on a winner here on this one. Now, Liston's really impressive. New Smyrna, 12th out of 26. Myrtle Beach, 13th out of 18th. USA, 11th out of 23. Then there's a couple no-shows until we get down to Southern National, where he's 12th out of 24. He's right in the middle of the pack. Hickory was a no-show, and then last round of Sobo, he beat 6 drivers, 17th out of 23. The over-under for Todd Liston today, as I look at the grid here, it looks like it's going to be 8.5. Bet the under if you think he'll do 8th or better, over 9th or worse. What do you say?
I say under. We got a small field here tonight. I think 14. So yeah, we'll go with the under here for Todd. Todd showed some speed there in practice, and I'm gonna have faith in him tonight.
I agree. And it is a small field. We may need to turn Dr. Fauci loose on this one. I think this race might be suffering from season finale flu, which often happens here once things, the attendance usually down in these things for the last round. Anyway, 14, healthy enough.
Yeah, and you know what? Look at the top of the board. I mean, if we wanted excitement, we got now Goodman bumps up there. As I say, Shane and Liston were tied, turned in identical times up there.
Top 10 will invert, so 4 drivers will not. Be interested to see if Matthew Thunhorse continues his attack from the back strategy. I believe he is. He's yet to come out there. Michael Goodman sitting a second in points and honestly wins the best of the rest award. He has been dominant. He's easily in second. Going to lock that in.
You know, what's kind of incredible is, you could mention that, what you're going to do here is going to carry over to next season. Well, they're inverting 15. We have 14. Somebody's got to show up and he's sitting on the pole and be pretty happy about that. That'll be a nice surprise, won't it?
Yeah. Maybe Lowell Jewell will let one of us in right now. We get in there and find ourselves on the pole for the season opener.
I'm thinking. I mean, I'm eligible to run this, so maybe I'll beg him to let me pull double duty.
All right, qualifying is done, and it looked like 12 out of the 14 drivers put in time. Kurt Smith and Matthew Thunhorse did not. And it is the man who's sitting second in the points, Michael Goodman. It was his first pole of the season. And honestly, I know that because all the poles have belonged to J.R. Shepard this year. So since J.R. is not here, hope J.R. is having a good time. Maybe watching. J.R., how you doing?
Well, why would you mention that you don't have to really, just J.R. is one of them all. You could have sounded great there, Soup. Just said, yep, our we got great statisticians here on the, make something up there. But it'll be different watching somebody else grab this pole here.
Looking at timing and scoring, and maybe you can correct me on this. Am I looking at Joseph Snyder? Did he qualify in 10th position? Do I have that right? Looking down there.
Kevin Nunn. Kevin Nunn will be on the pole.
not sure if Kevin is on our interview list. Why don't we bring Kevin in? Let's give it a shot. See if we can pull Kevin in. We'll know if he's on the interview list if he talks to us. John, see if you can get Kevin on the mic.
Yeah, Kevin, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, my friend, you get lead these guys to green here. How does that feel?
It's a little bit of pressure. Normally, I don't want to be up there, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I think you'll be fine up there. Well, from a strategy standpoint, we ran these things last week. Did you get any more races in or practice through the week with this car?
No, I didn't, but I did learn a lot last week since I had the front tire blow at 82 laps. So I know I'm going to try and conserve a bit more this time around.
Kevin, it's Soup, 100-lap race. How long are you going to hold the lead, baby?
Maybe through turn 1.
Okay. Good luck. We'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you.
He's going to be first to turn 1, John.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, that's optimistic, I suppose. Sure, but I bet you Kevin will go a lot further than that there. But he's going to be conserving his tires, though, and that's going to be the big question. Are guys behind him going to be hammered down from the beginning? And then, somebody that's in the front there conserving tires, that means he's probably going to be lifting a little bit early into the corners, letting the car roll through the center a little bit more, a little bit easier picking up the throttle. These cars really like to drive off the right rear. So both right sides tires, from corner entry to corner exit, take a beating in these cars.
Kevin Nunn was our over-under driver last round. Did not have a good performance as he finished well down the order, but John did get that one right, as I think he had picked the over on that. So
I did, and I just kind of had a feeling that it was going to be kind of one of those attrition kind of things, and he just said it. His tire blew. Last week was a crapshoot. I think I'd have taken the under almost if anybody would have been picked. Anybody else would have been picked too.
So we talked a little bit about the format changing. This will be the last of the qualifying session that inverts the top 10. We're going back to the traditional format. What it is they invert it used to be, I've done it. It used to be 8. It was 10 for a while, and now the powers that be have turned it to 15, so they're going to invert the top 15 drivers in the previous race, and this is going to carry over. So what we were talking about is, whoever finishes last here is going to be on the pole.
Well, they're going to be on the outside pole because that's only 14.
That's right. Not sure how they're going to do that.
So somebody's going to get a nice present next week.
Well, we're glad you're with us here. There's not a whole lot of drama in this one. We'll try to keep it as professional as we can. Qualifying is done. Let's run through the starting grid right now as they line up. And this is indeed our pre-race interview. Kevin Nunn, he's going to be starting on the pole. He's going to be flanked by the boss man, Lowell Jewell, in his new number 20. John?
And the second row is going to be Donnie Moore, and next to him will be Steven Spees.
Ribeye Joseph Snyder in the 5th spot. He's inside of Mike Holloway.
And starting in the inside of row number 4 will be Todd Liston, our over-under driver. And then next to him will be Adam Shane, starting 8th.
And we have Matt Hoos in the 9th, and he's going to be flanked by the driver who has locked up 2nd position in the points. A very productive season for Michael Goodman as he rounds out the top 10.
And starting 11th will be Ruben Altice. Into his outside will be Stephen Hillary.
In his traditional tack from the back, it is Matthew Thunhorse in the Alliance Yellow number 8. How long will it take him to get to the front? The big names are not here. There's no Kibbe, no Morton, no Shepard. Should be maybe easy picking for Thunhorse. Right outside of him is the number 6 at Kurt Smith. 14 cars here tonight.
Yeah, but I expect to have plenty of action here still. This track is very, very fast. You can really attack it. You can get up real close to somebody. These cars are just great fun to be behind the wheel of here. These guys are going to, I'm sure, put on a show.
I did my homework, tried to get a little bit of information. I've watched the feeder race into this one. It is the modified event. And at the opening lap, the top line rolled. They just steamrolled the entire bottom line. Now, John says it might be because those cars are a little lighter, with a little more tire, they were able to do it. Let's see if it happens right now. Pace car pulls in. Everyone's watching Kevin Nunn. Chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler, hi-da-ho! And Kevin Nunn leads them down into the first corner. And indeed, he is the leader going into corner number 1. He's the leader coming out of corner number 2. The outside line, contrary to what I just talked about, did not work. And it is Donnie Moore who gets second position from third. Lowell Jules stuck on the top side now as Ribeye Joe Snyder gets that spot.
Yeah, and they're side by side throughout a good portion of the field here, and that outside line just does not look like it's rolling quite yet here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, all single file. Now they start to sort out a little bit. First battle we have is the 10 of Mike Holloway stuck on the outside. He's trying to hold off Ruben Altice. Altice on the inside, losing positions. The 79 also following around. That's Adam Shane. Shane tried to make the top side work as he works around the 70, and I believe he gets that done on Altice.
Yeah, a little bit of a hornet's nest back here, and a couple of guys back here are kind of surprised with Goodman and Thunhorse still in tow. They haven't really made up a whole lot of ground here.
Big mover is Matt Hoos up 3 positions as we speak, racing in 6th spot. Meanwhile, Kevin Nunn thought he could only lead maybe the first lap. Well, he's doing better than that. He's out in front, working lap number 5, coming around to lap number 6. But knocking on Kevin's door is Donnie Moore.
Yeah, and Donnie's been through these 100 lappers more than once, we'll just say, and he knows that he doesn't have to push right now. He can just sit back there and kind of just let laps roll. Maybe put a little bit of pressure on Kevin and get him maybe to use more tire than he wants to stay out front there.
Let's go to the 10. Duck into the inside of the 55. That is Mike Holloway making some moves. Speed stuck on the outside. He's going to bring Adam Shane with him. Steven Spees really had trouble there on that one. He's having trouble keeping the car low.
And Steven did a lot of dirt racing last night. I think he was in 4 different events, and maybe he's trying to shake the rust off of this asphalt stuff.
And not only did Shane fall Holloway through, but he got around Holloway. Now Holloway stuck on the outside. Good racing going on back here. The blue and orange car, that's Spees coming back, working the inside line. Not missing anything up front. Racing is close, but single file.
Yeah, the real battle now, and Michael Goodman now is taking a look to the inside of Holloway here going into turn 1.
Goodman gets the 28 underneath then. He's going to bring in the Alliance yellow number 8 of Matthew Thunhorse. Thunhorse beginning to climb up.
And Thunhorse does follow him through as they click another lap off. We're starting to work lap 11 here, and Steven Spees is now under fire by Michael Goodman.
Boy, that was a great shot there, riding on Thunhorse. You can see that Spees is slowing down those 3 cars ahead. You can just look at the top of your screen. You can see the gap to the leaders. Oh, there's a pass being made. See if I can figure out who that was getting that job done. Oh, it was Hoos losing the position. Adam Shane moves up 1 more spot. Shane is on gain 2. Thunhorse now our big mover as he is up 3 positions. Let's go to Thunhorse right now. This is interesting. 2 big names going at it. The man second in points on the outside. The man who has a win, Matthew Thunhorse, on the inside. And the 8 gets the better of the 28. That's 4 positions gained for Thunhorse. Took him 14 laps to do it.
He's just taking his time and being very methodical on how he's moving up through the field, which is good. You know, I hate to sound like a broken record, but you and I both said a few times here now, tires are going to be an issue by the end of this race.
Our contract calls for us to put the camera on the leader every so often. And having a hard time keeping the car down low is Kevin Nunn. It might be the opportunity for Donnie Moore, the veteran, Moore has 2 championships in a late model event so far. He's looking to get his first win of the season, as Nunn said he would be the leader in the corner number 1. Well, he did a little bit better. He held on for 16 laps, but now he gives up the ghost. Underneath him is ribeye Joe Snyder. Now, Snyder is notorious for being quick early, but man, he burns the rubber off. Let's see if he's learned a lesson. He moves into second. Stuck on the top side now is way up high. Boy, the car has gone away. When it comes to tires, he has none, and I'm talking about Kevin Nunn, as he loses spots. He loses one to Jewel, he loses one to Liston, and he loses one to Shane.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like Kevin was actually pulling up to the outside there just to kind of let some of these guys back. I think he was just wanting to protect his tires. He said it as much earlier, so that really looked like that was kind of an intentional give up there. But you know, we talked about Snyder and using up his tires. I've been watching him now for the last couple, 2-3 laps. He's driving that car pretty deep into the corners, and then at this rate, he may have a hard second half of this race.
Joseph is a make hay when the sun shines type of guy, but it's going to be raining the last half of the race if he keeps driving it the way he has in the last few races. Making up good time now on Donnie Moore. We talked about previous champions. Moore has 2. He's a champion 3 season 6, but that was a long time ago as we're working season 21. Donnie would sure like to get a win.
Yeah, Donnie has been around in this league for a long time. I've raced him a lot, and he's actually someone on track that it's fun to race with him because he doesn't really ever do anything silly or anything like that. He's just smart. He's very methodical, and I'll tell you, when he wants to, though, man, he can make his car awful wide.
We were on that stationary camera. Look, we're on it again. Look at that blue, black, and white car going underneath. That's a good-looking car. That's the 87 of Todd Liston. He's our over-under driver. Hey, John, he's up 3 spots, racing in 4th right now.
I know, but we're only about a quarter of a way through this race, so we'll see where he's at the end here. But I had faith in Todd tonight, so we'll see. He looks like he might not be satisfied with 4th, but he might close up here on the back of the boss man here, Lil Jewel, in that 20 car and make that a race too.
Well, I'll tell you right now, when we're talking about the Liston, the 79 of Adam Shane, it's on him tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day is Adam Shane, as he is right there trying to find a way around Liston. Meanwhile, Liston looked to get around Jewel. Jewel looking to get around Snyder. Snyder's tucked to the outside. Did the tires go away? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the little Jewel is just that fast. They're side by side right now. Snyder up top, the boss man down below. The boss man gets through, and chug-a-lug, here comes the train. Liston, and I think Shane's the caboose of this 3-car train getting through, and Joe Snyder going to fall well back, drop him down into what I think is going to be 5th position when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Joseph there a couple laps ago, right before Lowell got to him, he coming out of turn 4, he went to try to make a pass on Donnie there and kind of got a little big push coming off the corner. He had a lift not to hit that outside wall, and that's how Lowell got that run on him.
Oh my goodness, did I wish him into the cornfield because he loses more stops. We're talking about Snyder. Thunhorse gets by him, and now here comes the 21 of Matt Hoos.
Well, I will be a bit surprised. You know, last week we saw a lot of rubber around the track, and these guys are all staying right at the bottom single file. If there's bits of rubber that are starting to pack up on that, just even in that second lane, that could be part of his problem too, is picking up some loose rubber. And, you know, all of a sudden that will make your grip go away altogether.
Let's go to the front of the field because the action is really picking up right now. Donnie Moore got to the lead, but he hasn't been able to drive away from anybody. Right behind him is Lowell Jewel. And then we talked about our over-under driver, Todd Liston, in a podium position. And the man who's been following right through the field, Liston and Shane, both up 4 spots. And then, yes, the number 8 is back there, well within striking distance as they come across working lap number 32. Plenty of racing to go. We've been green the whole way.
I feel like we should be on that Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom, you know, where the guy comes in and just says the gazelle at the front, they're fast, but the predator is coming and there can only be one outcome.
Well, right now I think there are 4 gazelles, Moore, Jewel, Liston, and Shane. Yeah, they're quick, but I think the hunter, here he comes. I'm talking about the tiger that is number 8, Matthew Thunhorse. He now gets under Shane, notch another one. 3 to go for Thunhorse to get to the lead. I can hear him growling from here. Uh-oh, pass for the lead. Moore got loose. He got high, and that's with the opportunity for Lowell Jewell. Jewell out in front. Now we've seen it happen before. Once you get on top, they keep it coming. Moore with a great run off of Ford, trying to close the door on Liston. Liston will have nothing of it. He answers the bell, and he secures second position. Here comes Thunhorse. Liston has to be careful to make sure he gets down low to keep the number 8 behind him. Doesn't want to leave the inside open.
Yeah, and these guys look to be getting loose coming off the corner by having to hold the car down and not be able to kind of go all the way out where Donnie is. Seen a couple of them kick the back end out a little bit. So they got to be careful here, but I'm afraid that the train is coming, and boy, Donnie's a going.
We saw it happen to Kevin Nunn. We saw it happen to Joe Snyder, and now we've seen it happen to Donnie Moore. Lowell Jewell, have you paying attention? Because now you're up in front. Lowell's really smooth. Smooth as a bikini waxes Lowell Jewell. He'll keep that car down on the low line. Yeah, you might get around him, but you're going to have to work. There goes Thunhorse. Yep.
Man, oh man, that boy sure didn't take him long tonight.
How long did it take? Well, 39 laps for him to get from the inside of the last row to what would be the outside of row 1 if we go yellow. We're not going yellow. We're going to go green all the way. Lowell Jewell has finished in the top 10 all but once this season right now, out in front. Boy.
Oh, wall goes wide. That's all. Oh, didn't happen that time.
Now help me, John. Can you sacrifice speed a little bit to try to keep that inside line down there? Boy.
You can. There's a technique, and I'm not seeing, there goes Lola. Boy. Yeah. There's a technique that you can do about trail breaking in and just give it a little bit where the guy has to, it's almost like a brake check to the guy behind you. They got to lift a little bit, and then you can take off on corner exit. But I don't see too many of them employing that technique.
I'm going to make a note if we have the opportunity and the pleasure to talk to Lowell Jewell if he finishes on the podium at the end of the race. I'd like to know if that was a wave by or if that was just driving it in too hard. The last couple laps, he was having a hard time getting it down, and he still's having a hard time getting it down. I think the 87 is licking his chops right now.
I do too. I think Lowell, I think those tires are starting to talk to him a little bit here. So let's see if he goes through here. You know, he's been able to hold the bottom pretty good through 3 and 4, but down here in 1 and 2, up the track he goes again.
All right, let's look at the 21. This is Matt Hoos. He's coming up 5 spots as he makes quick work of Adam Shane. Shane he was really charging through the field. Shane again may have used up his stuff. This is fascinating. Look who's back on the low side. That's a Joseph Snyder. He couldn't get that car to stick down low if he wanted to. John, do the tires come back? Can you heat them up and can they come back for you?
Yes, they can. If you've been overdriving and whatnot, you can cool them down by starting to back up your corners, maybe roll a little bit longer through the center. There are things that you can do behind the wheel to get the tires back under you. I've been in this situation many times, and these guys all have too. You can throw something in there, maybe get a little sideways, and the tires will stay mad at you for probably a good 2-3 laps and not want to turn everything else, and you just feel like you've got a parachute. But you've got to be disciplined to get it back under you because you can damage them more if you keep trying to push through it.
Well, Adam Shane sure had a hard time, and he worked all the way up through the field, and now he settles down into 9th position, finally gets down to the low side. Let's go back up front. Well, not up front as Thunhurst beginning to drive away. Let's look at 2nd position. This is Jewell. Now, right behind him is Todd Liston. Now, the scoop I was getting on Todd Liston is I was talking to some people in the know, trying to find out a little bit about our over-under driver. They said, oh, Todd's quick early, but he's going to burn off the tires. Well, I think he's maybe learned a little bit. He looks really smooth right now, and I think Lowell might be having trouble. Lowell Jewell up ahead of him.
Yeah, and the thing I'm seeing out of Todd is he's driving smart. He's not pushing the issue right now. I think he's just kind of pushing Lowell, realizing Lowell is probably using his stuff up maybe even a little bit more than Todd is. That opportunity will come. I mean, we're just past halfway here. Still a long way to go.
Indeed, great battle. We're going to stay on this battle for second right now. This is one of the best battles on the track. As you see, Liston, our over-under spotlighted driver, well under the line right now. Now he gets a good run off of 4. Now he's side by side as they work their way through 1 and 2. Boy, there's nothing that Jewel can do as he's stuck on the top side. Liston's going to move up into second, having the race of his season, and he's going to bring Matt Hoos with him. Hoos up 6 positions. Well done, Matt.
Yeah, Matt's had a good run here too, and it's the same thing as Tada. I just haven't seen him really forcing any issues or anything like that. So he's keeping his car under him. And now we got a battle with Spees and then Snyder.
Spees getting under Snyder. This is not so much a case of comers and goers. It's a case of goers. I've just seen guys just fall down the field. Spees gets under Snyder. There's Goodman trying to make that pass, and then the 10 of Ruben Altice. Haven't heard much from Ruben, but he's up 3 positions now.
Yeah, and as you see some of these guys, fall back, so do not be surprised if we don't see them starting to come back up through the pack here towards the end. It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Great racing so far. Very clean, very exciting. Lots of on-track passing. Let's look at second position. Hoos is really testing the 87 to Todd Liston. Liston up 5 spots. Started in 7th. Has climbed his way up. The same thing for Matt Hoos. Started in 9th, up to 3rd.
Yeah, and Todd's being smart. I think he's doing exactly what you asked about earlier about, hey, you don't have to try to go as fast as you can. Someone's quicker, let him on go. He's just hitting his marks and being solid. I don't see him overdriving the corner or anything at this point.
He gets a good run off of 2. He's going to peek down into 3. Cannot get that done. Plenty of time as we are working lap number 59 right now.
And I'll tell you who's working their stuff right now. It's Matt, trying to get this pass done.
Whoops, drift up a little bit high was Liston. That's the opportunity that Hoos needed. He gets underneath and makes quick work of it. I think Liston trying to do a little dip-to-do, a little hokey-doke, a little hucklebuck, trying to do the up and under. Didn't quite get it done. Liston wanted to make sure that if he wasn't able to hold on to the position, that Hoos was able to get through cleanly, so he could able to cut back down, protect that 3rd position, and try to get the over-under bet. Try to be on the under of that. 8.5.
Yeah, I need him to make me look good. So I'm really counting on him here tonight. I'd sure like to end the season on a winning note for that whole deal.
Right off looking off the left rear tire of Matt Hoos there for a while. And now here we go. Oh, closing the door like Queen Elsa on her coronation was Todd Liston. He was having none of old Jewel getting down in there. Great battle for 3rd.
Yeah, now you've got Spees and Goodman who have joined this party up here, and this is going to be a good battle over the next few laps.
Looking at the train. Now the car up ahead, that Hoos is driving away. Liston actually maybe beginning to close a little bit. We're looking at Liston, then Jewel, then Spees, who's been up and down in there. There's Goodman and Holloway in the mix.
Yeah, and for all the Adam Shane fans, I think he must have had some terminal happen. He has pulled it in and put the car on the trailer.
Oh, old Jewel really close. Now gets to the inside of Liston. Puts it in there, and another on-track pass. My goodness, we have seen more on-track passes in this race than we've had 4 or 5 races of passes going on. And there goes another guy stuck on the top. Here comes the train. Spees, Goodman, looks a little bit far. I don't think Snyder's going to be able to get in there. Liston tries to duck down in there, and he does tuck in.
Yeah, now he's got, he's going to stem the bleeding a little bit, but he's immediately going to come under fire from Michael Holloway and Joseph Snyder here.
Great to see Holloway racing with us in this CRC Bracklin sponsored machine there. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody can help me in the YouTube chat. Snyder gets that position. Let's move up front now. That is Lowell Jewell stuck on the top side. As Spees now is the engine in this train. Goodman getting underneath. See you later, little Jewel. Let's see if Liston can tuck back in. Jewel able to close the gap.
Yeah, but he just drove it in pretty deep to do so, and I bet you he's going to have a lap or two of trying to get those tires to cool off a little bit now.
Quickly, let's put the camera on our leader. Look how far he is. You know, in Switzerland, it's illegal to own only one guinea pig because they're prone to loneliness. Luckily, we're racing in Pensacola and not Switzerland, because one lonely guy right now is Matthew Thunhorst.
Yeah, and I'm still amazed here at this battle. Speeds is now under fire from Goodman.
The 28 of Goodman gets that car underneath, and now Speeds loses a spot, but only one.
And Snyder's looking in the inside of Jewel now. This is fantastic racing, Sue.
Really fun racing. Really fun. You know, iRacing has a chart where you can watch the progress of drivers. It's a little graph. You can see it go up and down. This is going to be interesting to really look at because drivers are coming and going and coming and going and coming and going.
Yeah, and this is why, you know, I said at the top, this is one of my actually my absolute favorite track on the asphalt, and it's just so much fun because just the way it races and drives, and man, these guys are putting on a heck of a show. And you know what, Soup? I am starting to see that rubber build up massively on the outside of the turns again.
Which will just make giving up the inside all the more costly. Thunhorst, Hoos comfortably in first and second. Well, I say Hoos is comfortably in second, but maybe I spoke too soon. Let's look at the 28. Here comes Michael Goodman. You know, he's not second in the points for no reason at all. He's making a nice charge here, closing in on a Hoos, making a spot or distance hand over fist. Here he comes. 4 car lengths, 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths, now 1 car length back. He is a coming.
Yeah, while that's going on, Snyder and Holloway there got around Speeds too, so they are still dicing. Here goes Goodman to the inside of Hoos.
Boy, that was quick. I don't know if it's so much Goodman being that much faster or Hoos being that much slower. I think Hoos basically drove back into Goodman.
You know, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what Thunhorst is doing, but he sure is missing a good race.
Out there all by himself, you can see the interval up there. What is that, about 6.5 seconds in that range. So Goodman now moves into second. Let's focus on third position. I remember this guy. This is Ribeye Joe Snyder working the 39. He's got the tires back. He picks up third position, and he's going to bring Holloway with him.
Didn't we just see him being shuffled to the back, I don't know what, 30 laps ago?
I have a notepad where I keep notes. It looks like chickens have like walked through an ink pad. There's the scratches all over them. I have no idea what my notes say now. I have arrows pointing left and right. Yeesh. Up and down. Cars are going up and down. It's impossible to get a feel for this race. Well,
you need to watch this broadcast back and hold that pad in your hand and just see if you can follow along. I'd be interested to know that.
Because now I think the car to watch is the 10 of Holloway. As maybe just give us a chance, John, to check in on our over-under driver. Well, he was doing so well, and boy, talk about things going south. Todd Liston in 11th.
Yeah, the way he's running here all by himself in the corner, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he doesn't have a whole lot of tread on those sneakers anymore.
There's the pass being made. I can't tell who that is. That's Smith getting underneath Altice. Going a lap down now is Liston. In fact, Liston is bringing it in. You know, his car looks like you can't get new tires. I don't know the point of this. His car looks like one of those cars in like one of those police chases where the car runs over the spikes they throw out there and is running on the rims.
Yeah. I think you're all probably right because I was watching him for a lap or so and he was more or less coming to a stop to get that car to turn through the corners.
Well, the little gremlins had whispered in my ears about Liston running the tires off the car. Well, they were right. All right.
Yeah, but in all fairness, I think quite a few guys have run the tires off the car here tonight.
This is Goodman. That's Snyder. And then that's Holloway. I thought Holloway might be the fastest of the three, but who knows? Goodman can't get the car down. That's an opportunity for Snyder. Don't know what anybody is basically.
Oh, there goes Goodman way up in those marbles. No grip up there.
I would say it looks like they're racing on dirt, but it more looks like they're racing on like ice. The cars just will not turn.
Donnie Moore has parked it too, so we're starting to get some attrition here as watch as these guys came down the front straightaway there. There's what, 3 or maybe 4 cars or 3 cars maybe parked in those pits.
Donnie Moore, who led 18 laps, has called it a night. 15 laps for Kevin Nunn to start off. Kevin's still racing. Let's look in on our pole sitter, 64. He's all by himself, and again, that car has nothing. I love this new makeup. I love to see the tires burn off, John. It's so much fun.
Yes. And, and funny thing is, behind the wheel, it's just as much fun because you've got to discipline yourself not to use them up. It's a challenge.
It's almost like a fuel conservation race where you almost have to save fuel to make sure you have enough to get the end. Literally, these guys have to save their rubber to make sure they can get to the end. Let's look at this battle for second. This is Snyder.
You know what's crazy is Holloway's last lap was a 17:20. He qualified at a 16:8. You would think for all this tire wear that there would be more fall off, and that's kind of what I went back to saying earlier tonight about this is what's hard about these things is, in the old model you could feel your tires starting to go. I have a feeling these guys are racing normal. Your tires feel good. They're waiting for them to feel the give up, but the problem is by the time they feel give up, it's too late. They're burnt off. That, I think, is the challenge.
Kind of like you've fallen over the cliff when you no longer feel ground underneath you, huh?
Yeah, basically.
Snyder and Holloway, the best battle on the track right now. The big mover, Matthew Thunhorse, somehow the laws of physics don't seem to affect some drivers like they do others. Thunhorse, Shepard, Chibby, Morton, they seem to be able to manage okay.
I know there's 5 laps left, but these guys are closing on Holloway, or on Thunhorse.
Oh, John Hine read page 17 of the commentator's handbook. Try to put some drama in the race wherever you can. Indeed, they are closing. Time is running out. There is some lap traffic coming ahead. Stephen Spees gets out of the ways for Thunhorse.
His tires must be shot. And Soup, I know you said commentator. I'm still a driver. I'm in denial, but I'm still a driver.
Well, you can see the interval up there, which was
it's coming down fast.
6.5 seconds. My gosh, it is shrinking. We are running out of laps. If this was a 110 lap race, I'd be really worried. I'm still a bit concerned.
I'd still be worried.
They are coming. We are looking lap 98. Of course, Thunhurst may have also read page 17 of the commentator's handbook. But my goodness, now it's down to a car length. This is lap number 99. He is right there. This is Snyder. What does Snyder have left? All of a sudden, he's back in there. The way they were closing, who knows? Thunhurst goes through 3 and 4. He's going to be getting the white flag. He goes around.
Oh, man. What I bet happened is Thunhorse is probably lifting because his tires. Snyder's going to win this.
And the yellow flag comes out. And we're hearing the Thunhurst blew the right front. The white flag is out. What an exciting event. It's going to finish under yellow, but that does not exemplify the excitement of this race. Getting the first win of the season, maybe the first race win of his career, is the Butcher of Baton Rouge, Ribeye Joe Snyder in the 39 gets the season finale win here in Pensacola.
And just real quick, I don't know, Ryan, or if you can get a look at the cars parked in the pits that had to pull off without a doubt because of tires. Oh. That is just crazy. But what a finish!
As the tire goes on Thunderhorse, we were talking about the laws of physics not applying to some of the drivers. Apparently, I spoke too soon. All right, the checker flag is waved. We're going to take a short break. Don't go far. We're going to have some fun interviews tonight. We'll be back in a few.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome to you to the Chuckles. I'm in danger. 250 can possibly go to the outside. He does go to the outside of Ricky Harden. Tries a slide draft him. Harden goes up the track. Now back down to the bottom. Gets a huge push from Tommy Ryan at the start finish. It's going to be Thomas George.
Running the high line, trying to make that
got
pass.
loose off turn 4.
In the grass goes the 6 car, and they were side by side, 2 by 2 here.
Scott Eckler winning the last race of the season and the championship.
Jeff Ford definitely getting the championship for season 2.
Give it up for Thomas George, winning the race and the championship. George overshoots the corner. Scott puts that car just where he needs to on the middle. It's going to be a drag race through the kick.
Welcome back to Five Flags Speedway and VGN's Round 11 coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Series. It's the season finale, and did it not disappoint. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. Well, he started in 5th position. He was up, he was down, he was up, he was down, and at the very end, he leads only 2 laps, but they were laps number 99 and 100. We're talking about Joseph Snyder gets his first win of the season. Mike Holloway followed him around, will take 2nd, and Michael Goodman, another driver up and down, will finish in 3rd. Kurt Smith up 10 spots for 4th. Matthew Thunhorse led for 58 laps. The tires went away. He blew a tire, the right front, on lap 97, coming out of corner number 4, and that was all she wrote. He'll settle for 5th. Kevin Nunn gets 6th spot. Stephen Spees in 7th. Matt Hoos in 8th. Lowell Jewell in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Ruben Altice, a quiet 10th.
Finishing 11th is going to be Todd Liston, then Stephen Hilbert, Donnie Moore, and rounding out your field tonight is Adam Shane.
With that, we're going to have an opportunity to get to talk to our race winner. It's going to be... we have 3rd place? All right. We're going to talk to... We're talking to Michael Goodman. All right, here we go. Thank you, Michael Goodman. I'm going to take this one at soup. Wow, I don't know if it was as fun to drive as it was to watch, but my goodness, what a race.
Oh, it was a great race. I don't know what else there really is to say. I thought I was saving my tires, and I saw everyone falling off, and then when I got into 2nd place, I was like, yeah, I'm going to finish 2nd. I'm going to get finished 2nd, and all of a sudden I look in my rearview mirror, and I see Joseph and Mike Holloway flying at me, and I'm like, wait a second, I passed them like 10 laps ago, and where are they coming from? Because like I said, I thought I saved my tires, and they did a better job than I did.
When you watch this on the replay, it's incredible, Michael, what was happening. Drivers were up front, and then they disappear, and then they would come back. as if they like nursed their tires and they came back again. You got to be happy with your season. Second place. Coming into the season, if I told you you're going to finish second, you would have taken that one, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I also would have told you you were crazy. But I was thinking about this whole week. I was thinking about it. I've been practicing, qualifying, practice race laps, saving my tires, because I really wanted that second place. And after last week, when qualifying wouldn't let me in to actually qualify and I had to reset, I was just praying to myself, please, please, please let me in. And everything went, without a hitch, and I was able to do it. So as far as that goes, I feel good. Actually, I don't even feel good. I feel great. I finished second, even on, JR just decimated everybody and stuff like that. But no, I'll definitely take second place. And you know what? We'll see what moves. We'll see what happens next season.
Best of the rest, man. That's what you can lay claim to on that one. Congratulations, Michael. Nice to watch you race the entire season.
I appreciate it. And again, I'm going to say the same stuff over and over again. Thank you to Gargamel's Kitchen for sponsoring the series. Thanks to you guys, because like I said, when I watch the broadcast, you two guys are like so entertaining to watch that it makes the watching the broadcast that much better. And thanks to the league. All right.
Well done, Michael. We'll see you next season. Michael Goodman, third place finisher here today. John, have you ran down somebody? Who you got?
Well, I've got Mike Holloway here, and Mike, tell me you looked at your tires after that race. Did you? And how much tread did you have left?
I had 37% on the right front left, and 53, I think, on the right rear.
Well, how much were you saving? I mean, were you did you do it by hitting a certain lap time every time, or was it on feel? How did you save it?
I don't really, generally during a race, I don't pay a lot of attention to lap times, but I do kind of go on feel. And first half of the race, I tried to take it a little bit easy, but these guys, they don't lay off, man. If you're going to keep up, you got to go a little harder than you want to sometimes. So, but I was able to save a little bit just by feel.
Well, the observation I made, and I could be way off, so feel free to correct me if I'm off. But the thing that's tough about these is the tires actually feel really good until they don't. I mean, you're wearing the tread even at like 50%, 55%. They probably still fine, but then when they fall off that a cliff basically. Would that be accurate, or do you think it does feel that feel does go away quicker?
You may be a little accurate there, but in all fairness, I might be the wrong guy to ask on this, because I'm the type of guy who generally, the more the tires wear, the better the car feels to me. And to me, it just, you're sliding around and you can tell your tread wear's gone, and that's where I'm like, okay, this is kind of where it feels good to me. So I might be the wrong guy to ask on that.
Man, we should have seen you on dirt. Yeah, you'd have loved that, going sideways and slipping, sliding everywhere. But
yeah, I gave that a try for about 2 races, and that wasn't me.
Well, I tell you, you started towards the back. You started coming through. What was going through your mind when you saw that 8 car out there, and you and Snyder were probably putting a half a second a lap on him? What was going through your mind?
Well, I remember thinking at about 70 to go, or 60 or something like that. I was like, man, I can't even see Matthew. We're not even on the same side of the track. And then I'm like, wait, there he is. And then, holy cow, I'm getting close. Wait, no, this ain't going to happen, is it?
You just sounded like soup on the broadcast, so I think they're going to run out. No, maybe they're not. What a great race. Very cool. I hope you go back and watch it, because it was a heck of a finish, and thank you for that. And, man, gives you some momentum, though, for next season, though, huh?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt.
Well, my friend, congratulations on a great finish here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you down the road.
All right. Thanks, John.
Yep. That's Mike Holloway, the second place finisher for tonight.
You did steal our commentary, didn't he? That's exactly what we were saying.
Yeah, sounded just like you.
We were watching it. He was feeling it. Okay, we get to talk to our race winner, Joseph Snyder. Joe, we're going to talk about the ending in a minute. Let's go to the beginning of the race. I'll be honest with you. I wrote you off. You fell. You're on the outside. There's Snyder again, dropping like a pigeon. Then you're back in it.
Well, Soup, all I worked on this week was saving tires, and I guess it paid off there because the guys that I let by early, they kind of lost their tires, and I got back into it.
Man, I indeed, because you've kind of gained a reputation of using up your stuff. It didn't happen, though, tonight. Let's go to the end. He's got half a lap on you. Then when did you start to realize, well, hey, I got a shot at this?
Well, I came up on him faster than I expected. You know, Matthew's super fast. And, man, I tell you what, it's I feel great that I got a win, but I'm sick that I got into him. I mean, really. But he was very gracious, but I just felt terrible about it.
Well, we've heard a rumor, I don't know if he confirmed it with you, that he blew a right tire. Did you get that news?
I heard a couple of guys say they blew tires, but I think Matthew still had I forget what percentage he had, but he still had some tires. He told me he was struggling with it though.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna maybe give you a little bit of ease on this one, because both John and I and our director Ryan Seneker, we both said that Thunders basically stopped in the corner. He was so slow. There's really no way you could expect to stay off of him on that.
Well, I appreciate that, but it never feels good to wreck another driver. I mean, not in this league.
Got it. Well, let's talk about the win. As far as I've been commentating for just a couple seasons, this is the first win that we've actually had on the broadcast. Have you had wins in this season, in this series, in the bootleg races?
I had one win a couple of years ago in the Street Stock Series, but no, this is definitely my first win in the Invitational.
There you go, and you did it on the big show. That's the time to do it. Congratulations. And Joe, I don't know if you pay attention to the points, but your rival seems to be Donnie Moore. You guys always seem to be close in the points together. Looks like you're going to nip him for that position.
All right, well, that's excellent. I love racing with Donnie. Me and him are always close.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you, Soup. Y'all have a good night.
Joe Snyder, your race winner here tonight. John, this was a good one. I'm actually going to watch this one back to see if I can figure out what happened.
Well, make sure you have your notepad, because I expect to hear from you at some point in time this week to see if you can follow your notepad. I'm going to
take a picture of this legal pad that I have down here to show you what I'm dealing with. It makes no sense at all. We'd like to thank the good folks at Gargamel Kitchen. They've been our sponsor for the entire season, and they're going to be back for this season and for next season and a few more after that. They're a food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street or give them a call at 720-707-6178. Now, tonight's broadcast concludes BGN's coverage of Season 21, but fear not. Join us again next Saturday, March 25th, for the opening round of Season 22 from New Smyrna, live at 9 p.m. Eastern. But before them, on Tuesday, March 21st at 8:50 Eastern, it's the Pretty Good Racing League, and they're going to be coming to you from Atlanta Speedway. And a bit of self-promotion here on Friday nights. I didn't have a chance to talk about this because we went green the whole way. DJ Clark, Sean Crackers Ambrose, and myself will be calling the action for the opening round of the Super Late Model Series. That's going to be on Friday nights, and 200 laps, which means there's going to be a pit stop. You don't want to miss that. Those upcoming broadcasts, as well as the one you just watched, have been a production of the Virtual Grip Network. So until next time, have fun storming the castle.